All right, let's just dive right in. You know we hear the word corruption, and we usually think of something happening way over there, in the news, in some other company. But what if the biggest threat isn't out there at all? What if it's hiding inside your own organization? Well, today, we're going to draw a map to find it.
So let me just ask you this, straight up. In your business, right now, where is the biggest risk hiding? Chances are, it's not where you'd first expect. And hey, if you don't have an answer, that's okay. That's exactly why we're digging into this.
So here's our game plan for the next few minutes. First, we're going to talk about these invisible threats. Then, we'll get into how you can actually map out your own risk landscape. We'll look at dangers from the inside versus the outside, and then I'll show you a couple of really powerful tools to assess those risks. And finally, we'll put it all together and see how you go from just having data to making smart decisions.
Okay, section 1. The biggest hurdle, honestly, is just changing how we think about this. Corruption isn't some vague moral concept. For any healthy business, you've got to start treating it like a real, tangible risk, something you can actually measure and manage.
Because that's what it is, right? It's this quiet vulnerability that can be hiding anywhere, in your sales team, your supply chain, even in your HR department. It's not about if something could go wrong, it's about figuring out where it's most likely to be hiding in plain sight.
So, if these risks are hidden, how in the world do you find them? Well, we have to become cartographers. Seriously, it's time to actually map out our own organization's risk landscape to see where the danger zones are.
And the key word here is proactive. We're not sitting around waiting for a crisis to pop up. Proactive mapping means you're going on a hunt. You're systematically turning on the lights in every single corner of your company to see what's really going on.
And if you're wondering where to start, these are the usual suspects. Your sales department, with all the commissions and client gifts, that's a classic hotspot. Procurement, where massive contracts get decided? Oh, absolutely. And you might not think it, but even HR, big decisions about who gets hired and promoted can be a huge vulnerability.
All right, so now we know where to look, but that's only half the story. Next, we have to figure out who we're looking for. And this brings us to a really important split: the dangers that come from inside versus those that come from the outside.
And this is so important to get right. On one side, you've got your internal risk. That's your employees. But on the other side is the one that's often the biggest blind spot: third-party risk. We're talking about your agents, your suppliers, all those partners who are out there representing your company. You might have total trust in your team, but can you say the same for every single person in your wider network? Okay, we've laid the groundwork. We know what the problem is, we know where to look. Now let's get into the practical stuff, the toolkit. I'm going to walk you through 2 surprisingly simple tools that are absolute game changers for identifying and, this is key, prioritizing these threats.
Our first tool is the Risk Register. Now I know, it sounds super formal, but don't let the name intimidate you. Just think of it like a master logbook for anything that could go sideways. It's simply a central place where you write down every single potential risk you've found.
But here's where it gets really smart. You don't just list the risk. For each one, you give it a score from 1 to 5 for 2 things. How likely is it to happen, and what's the impact if it does happen? Suddenly, those vague worries start turning into actual hard data you can work with.
But let's be honest, a big spreadsheet full of numbers isn't exactly easy to act on, is it? The real magic happens when you take that data and make it visual. That's when it truly becomes powerful.
And we do that with our second tool, the heat map. A heat map takes all those scores from your register and turns them into a simple, color-coded chart. Its job is to do one thing, and do it brilliantly. Show you in a split second what you need to focus on first.
You see how this works, right? We've got impact along the bottom and likelihood up the side. Things that have low impact and are not likely to happen, they're down in the green, no big deal. But the stuff that's high impact and very likely, boom, it lights up in bright red in that top corner. Your eyes go straight to it. That's your to-do list. That's where you put your resources.
So now we have our map, and the danger zones are literally glowing red. This is the moment it all comes together. We're ready to move from just looking at data to actually making decisions. So how do we use this map to chart a safer course forward?
It really all boils down to these 4 steps. You start by just identifying the risks. Then you log them and you score them in your register. You visualize your priorities with a heat map, and then, the most important step, you use that incredible clarity to build a real plan to tackle your biggest problems first.
And that is the whole point of this. This isn't just about making charts.
It's a system for taking that general nagging feeling of uncertainty and turning it into a clear, concrete, actionable strategy. It gives you a roadmap to defend your organization before trouble starts.
So I'll just leave you with this final thought. We've just gone over how to draw the map. You now know how to find the dangerous mountains and the safe valleys. The only question left is, are you ready to actually go out and explore the territory?